Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Dave's Top 3,000 Songs of the Rock Era. Today I'm up to song number 2198, and that one is Valleri by the Monkees. It came out in 1968. Here's a picture of the single, and it was also released on their album called The Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees. Um, Anyway, here's a picture of the Monkees around the time of recording. I think you guys are probably familiar with them. They had a big TV series from 1966 to 1968. I got a picture here. Anyway, I'll get to that later. But first, as usual, I'm going to feature a sample of the song Valerie and react to it. So here it goes.
There's a girl I know who makes me feel so good, and I wouldn't live without her, even if I could. They call her
Okay, that's the first verse of Valerie by the Monkees. Pretty catchy song, like most of theirs were. Um, the Monkees had some good songs, even though they were sort of a made-for-TV band. They actually were a real band. When they first started the TV shows, kind of interesting trivia. Maybe I'll go back to I'll just go back to the picture. They were hired by whatever network it was that filmed the Monkees. I'm not sure which network it was, but they were just hired to be sort of actors to play the role of rock musicians on this TV series. Kind of like they were sort of supposed to be like an American version of the Beatles, I guess. Yeah, but it turned out that they liked being on the show so much that they insisted on becoming real musicians and doing their own songs, which they did. So they turned out to be pretty good musicians. A couple of them, I think, were already musicians. Some of them even wrote music. I think that probably the greatest musician in the band was Mike Nesmith. He then ended up writing a song for Linda Ronstadt. I think with a different drum. I think he wrote some other songs as well. I mean, most of the songs by the Monkees were written by other artists. I think most of them were written by Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart. They were a duo, these guys. They had a couple hits on their own. I think their biggest hit was I Wonder What She's Doing Tonight, which was a top 10 hit. That one's coming up quite a bit higher on my list, by the way. And I thought I'd mention one other thing. Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart, I liked them. I thought they had they wrote some good music, and I guess they were pretty popular for a while in the late 60s and early 70s, and they were even featured on a couple TV shows. They were on I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched, different episodes. This is a picture of them on Bewitched along with Elizabeth Montgomery, who played not only the main role on the show, Samantha, but she played her cousin Serena. Here she is with Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart. I just thought I'd mention that. Um, but I guess maybe I want to get back to the Monkees. I already featured a song by them, so I'm not really going to say too much more about them. They had three number ones. They were very successful as a band, not just as actors on the TV show, but they had three number one songs. I even remember the show. I was only, I think, 60 years old in 1968. That's when I remember the show. I only watched a few episodes when it was first running. And, it's kind of weird because at the time I didn't know the difference between them and the Beatles. I don't think it was till around 1970 when I was about eight that I even knew the difference between these two bands. Go figure. So I guess they did a pretty good job making them seem like the Beatles. I mean, they have the same juvenile sense of humor, and they did a lot of the shows kind of like A Hard Day's Night, like the Beatles, same kind of I guess creativity. So I guess they were playing on that image. But I do like the Monkees. I've got several more songs by them coming up on my list. Anyway. And I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about the song Valerie as well as the Monkees. So that completes my video, my feature on Valerie by the Monkees. So thank you for watching. You guys rock, and I'll see you next time. Bye.